Hi, Exit Festival, this is Rady from Discharge, speaking to Agoraphobic News. And here we go.
Hey, Milos here with Discharge at Exit Festival. Hello, guys.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So your band has just turned 40. I mean, you have a big legacy behind you.
Yeah, I guess so. You know, it doesn't feel like 40 years, but there you go. It's a walk in the park.
I mean, even Lemmy is not here with us, and your band is still playing. I mean,
yeah, sadly he's not, but you know, we kind of became internationally known about the same time as Motorhead. You know, prior to that, we'd existed for about 3-4 years. You know, but we did get played to with all the old, you know, Clash and everybody in the beginning. So we were there at the front, and then kind of forge your own sound, you know, which we kind of, people say we've left a legacy, you know, but and we're here doing what we love doing, you know, and still doing it.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And when did you join the band?
I've always been in the band, really. Yeah, I was the original drummer, Tezz.
You invented the D-beat, right?
Yes, that's right.
So you're here from the start.
Huh?
You're in band from the start, right?
Of course, yeah.
And
It's just a pattern, you know.
can you
I
dis-
guess it was my pattern.
Can you tell me, were there some drummers that had impact on your playing with all this D-beat stuff?
Oh,
Or you just...
my favorite drummers back then was Pete Davis from the UK Subs and Filthy Animal Taylor from Motorhead. Yes,
Overkill.
yes, they were massive influences on me, but obviously I couldn't play as well as them, so I just like stumbled around and came up with my own version of what they were doing, which was the D-beat, you know, and then all of a sudden that just exploded. Unfortunately, when I left the band.
And do you like more extreme drumming, like blast beats, or...
Oh yes, I appreciate all styles of drummers now. These days are just fantastic, you know, just incredible drummers, you know. And to have drummers that tell me that they were influenced from what I was doing back in the day is a fantastic admiration. Yes.
And Discharge is pretty political band. Did like the nuclear scare in the 80s have an impact on your music, or Margaret Thatcher's?
I guess you know, where we were brought up was just kind of a working class area, and everything was black and white, you know, and there wasn't much going for anybody, and people had no jobs. You know, the same scenario you get all over the world at that time, you know. So there was the angst. We just put guitars to it, and
we just went with the flow of what we were doing, and before you knew it, we were redeemed as creators.
And it's funny because, you know, in the US, if there wasn't for Ronald Reagan, there would have been no hardcore and thrash metal as we know it. Was that the case with the hardcore in the UK and Margaret Thatcher, or not?
well, Margaret Thatcher certainly fueled the fires of you know, hardcore, but I think any politician would in the UK, you know. I think well, even the class system has kind of disappeared into nothing over there, but I don't. Yeah, it's always been the bane of everybody's life, the UK. You know, it's not the best place to live, but it isn't the worst either.
You don't know what Serbia is, I mean, really?
Well, I don't, but I've watched documentaries. You know, that's all I can go by. But I did, whether it's fortunate or not, managed to play most of the Eastern Bloc countries before communism fell, so I have some understanding what went on, you know.
Can you share that experience? I mean, you guys, can you recall that?
Yeah, I can recall the first time I ever went to about 82, into Yugoslavia, which is then a really heavy country, yeah. I mean, before we even got there, leaving Italy, one thing, the equipment, guitars had to be smuggled in. Oh, I've lost light.
There goes the electricity.
And it's all gone dark on Agoraphobic.
Oh,
Okay, back to
So,
basics.
so we had some technical difficulties here.
It's all
but it is a full moon.
Yeah, that's.
it's all sign language from here on.
I love full moon.
I love the full moon, yes.
Great.
It's going to bring out the werewolves.
This is pretty good. This is yours, I believe, Serbia.
Yeah.
You want to taste?
Yeah.
We're told it's your moonshine.
It's called rakia.
Yeah.
You know. And what is your Cold War story? I mean,
Cold War stories.
I mean, as a band that goes through the 80s and perceives the.
What struck me was when the Berlin Wall was up and going through the wall into Poland and just seeing how grey everything was. It was kind of shocking, really. There was no colours. Not even the cars were colourful. That's what always stuck in my mind. The lack of colour.
No more color, man.
Well, the lack of everything, really. You know what I mean? Yeah.
We were even lucky to be under Tito because, you know, the Soviets were really tough.
Yeah.
And
I've had experience of Soviet. You know, I've been dragged off trains by gunpoint and hauled in wooden sheds in the middle of fucking nowhere. You know.
yeah. And you just released, I mean, a year ago, you released an album called End of Days. And why is it called like that? Why is it so apocalyptic as it was in the 80s?
It came from at the end of, well, actually when we began to record the album, it was all in the news in the UK that it was called the End of Days that day that we started for some reason. I don't really know the reason why, but you know, I don't.
We have to blame the media, right?
Yeah. And then my brother Bones, he brought up the fact that we should call it the End of Days, and I was like, yeah, I like the sound of that.
And do you guys like? I mean, you pretty much like everything from hardcore, right?
Yeah. To everything.
You know, like Bad Brains.
Yeah, we know Bad Brains. Yeah, love the Bad Brains.
And when you compare the UK hardcore with US hardcore, what is the main difference?
The main difference. I don't think attitude. I think it's pretty much on par. Maybe they tend to play a bit faster than most UK bands do. You know, but there again, I don't know. It's kind of two different cultures, but we kind of somewhere meet in the middle.
Yeah.
You know, we've all got shit to talk about and what have you.
And what do you have to say about that?
Yes, the fact is that listening to the American bands who were certainly a lot more musically minded and a lot more apt with their guitar playing and drumming and styles and such, and it was admirable to listen to their music. Yeah.
And what about the straight edge attitude that like bands like Black Flag had?
Well,
It's kind of weird.
yeah, it's kind of difficult, yeah, but yeah, I've
Kind of the questions you avoid asking. Giving the, you know what I mean.
But, I've been around a lot of straight edge so-called bands back in the day, like even touring with them, and they all take a sneaky drink. You know what I mean? They all take a sneaky drink. I've seen it for myself. You know what I mean? It's all lies.
Yeah, but it's boring without alcohol.
Okay, I mean I don't drink anymore. You know what I mean? But occasionally I have a sneaky one. You know what I mean? Just to break that tension.
I don't drink at all.
I don't believe it.
It's true.
Drink a bit.
And I mean, Discharge is a pretty influential band, especially in the hardcore and thrash metal band genres. And what is your favorite Discharge cover done by some other band?
Well, I've heard that many. It's kind of an odd one to pinpoint, but I've heard some pretty good versions of. I don't know. I love various versions of Protest and Survive. You know, which
Sound-wise, Anthrax did a good cover of it. So their sound was great for it. But I think
Napalm Death.
Ain't no feeble bastard by not Sepultura. Soulfly.
Yeah, Max Cavallero's band. Yeah.
I thought that was sensational.
He's my idol. I mean, really.
Yeah, we like. Yeah, we like it very much.
And what is like the toughest thing in this music business?
For today, airports. Airports are a bummer, man. You spend half your fucking life there, you know.
Are airports scary now?
They're not so much scary, but time, you know.
Yeah, they always lose that stuff. Just this time coming over, we had to wait an hour in the airport just to get our guitars through.
Well, they fucking jamming the guitars opening.
For some reason, while they're sniffing around with their dogs and shit.
Okay, and what do you think about the grindcore?
In fact, in all honesty, there's all these different sub-genres of, you know, punk and different types of metal that
It's exploded into all at such a.
I don't even know what is supposed to be.
It's like a hardcore version of death metal.
I gather that, but we're kind of all in the same fucking bowl, so it's, you know.
Yeah, it's good that we all appreciate each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when we meet, it's like a big get together, and then we all go our separate ways. You know.
And do you guys record? Are you going to record a new album?
We're starting work on new material.
Yeah. As we speak, we're working on new material.
Busy, you know, with getting on with life and playing, you know, as best and as often as we can, you know.
And
plus, we don't all live in the same vicinity anymore, but we kind of alleviate that, and you know, when we can, as possible. But.
And can you guys describe us how is it going to sound like? I mean, the album.
The new album, how's it going to sound? It's going to sound a lot better than the last one, hopefully.
Yeah.
We always try to make it better than the last. That's what we strive to do. I mean, but stay in the same genre. You know what I mean? Which is horrible, really, when you're an advanced musician now at our age, and you always have to think back to what you've done in the past and bring that onto the equation, rather.
I would describe it as AC/DC syndrome. I mean, you have the same formula, but you have to outdo.
Yeah, you got to kind of pull it apart, and you know, and think backwards, basically, and you know, and hopefully it gives you longevity. I mean, you know, not to quote yourself, but yeah, 40 years and we're still playing.
So you said you played in Yugoslavia, but have you played in Serbia before?
We have played in Serbia, yeah. Played
When?
the Exit Festival. Plus,
When?
I think the Exit Festival, like 7 years ago.
I was a little kid back then.
I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was about 7 years ago.
And do you guys have a message for Serbian fans or fans around the world?
Well, you know, come watching us, and if you're a musician, just fucking go for it, man. You know, it's just, what can you say?
Yeah, still a lot of room for new bands.
And if you've got an alcohol or drug problem, then it's your fault, man. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for this interview.
Lovely.
Thank you so much.